What's up, guys? This is Daniel, and here in this video, I just want to share a little bit about our experience with Facebook ads, and I hope I can be helpful for someone who's interested in small business or marketing. So let's start and let's go over and check out our results in Facebook ads for the year of 2025. Okay, so one more thing as a side note, I want to say that I'm not making this video to show off in any shape or form or how much we make or anything. There's a lot more bigger numbers people make. So just making this video to record our results and what brought us there and what brought me there. And so I don't forget all this stuff because I forget a lot of stuff. All right, so let's start here. We're gonna do with Facebook ads in 2025. This was our number 3 marketing source, so it was not even our number 1 marketing source, definitely not the most profitable. But any case, you're looking here, the Facebook was 1,165 leads, 137, it's a 12% booking rate. Get actual revenue, which is 199,643, and marketing spend was about 20%, 18.19%. All right, so how did we get in there? First, I want to say we got an agency. Very important step to hire the right agency. If I was going back in time, you guys do how you want, but I would try to get an agency, try to convince them that I have a really good sales process, and I would try to give them access to all of the information that you have access to. So I would just totally give them access to all the admin, all the recordings, all this stuff. So they can see the recordings and they can see those text messages, emails, and everything that you send to the clients. So the other thing I would talk with an agency about going back in time, and that I would be set up agency retainer based on the marketing spend of this lead source. So let's say if the lead source would be, let's say Facebook, you spend $10,000 on a Facebook, right? Let's imagine like make a better number, like $1,000 per month, right? And then you get $10,000 in sales. Well, that's a 10% marketing spend because 1,000, 10,000, 1,000 is 10% of that, right? So I would put their retainer, that something that they keep, they make based on marketing source. So that's one thing I would do if I was going back in time. That's what we're currently searching for, someone who can help us based on actual sales, not price per lead or whatever, or just saying that this is just not busy, it's just how everyone has it, and so on and so forth. So very important. Number 2, which is gonna be strong sales. So sales need to be really strong for this, need to be a dedicated salesperson for Facebook, especially in my industry, because if you can see, like in this moving, we do home service moving, and in the moving you have cost per lead around $30 in areas like San Diego, New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, all those bigger cities, with a higher ticket price, not always higher, but most of the time higher ticket. They have a higher price per lead. So that means in order to test it real good, you would need to spend minimum of, I would say, $3,000 to $5,000 per month, and this is just an ad spend without retainer. So that means you would have like around 150 leads per month. So that's around, what is it, 5 leads per day, right? And if you have such a budget, you probably wanna invest in one of the salespeople. So have at least one salesperson who's working on the phone with you. You want to make sure that also the salespeople, they have all the scripts, number 1. Number 2, they do all the calls right away, so under 5 minutes. There's something that we noticed, that like once you call them right away, it's not actually changed. The pickup rate and the booking rate is not actually changing until the 5-minute mark, and about let's say someone tells 15 minutes and whatnot, but let's say we put a rule of calls under 5 minutes, that all the calls we attempt to make under 5 minutes, basically for all the potential clients or leads. Now, after that, you want to make sure that sales following up actually with those leads, because if they don't follow up, I mean, yeah, this is just going to be a lot of waste. And also that you as a sales manager listen in all the sales calls as well. So that's something that's very important, because if you don't listen to the sales call, then the salespeople stop caring about the reason of the call, stop asking people the question that they need to ask, figuring out the problem, building report. They just be reading a script like a robot in a best case scenario, and in worst case, they just tell the customer everything they want to hear, and you get a problem on the back end. So yeah, very important in the sales. You want to make sure they speed, they call them on time. Now they call, text, email, voicemail in a right manner. Now they follow up correctly, at least 4 or 5 times, and then you review the sales calls, and on the sales meetings, you want to make sure you keep an eye on those calls and talk with salespeople about it. All right, so that's on the side of the sales. On the other side, you have marketing side, where you want to test, track, and tweak. So if I was telling myself something back in time about the funnel, I definitely would look at the numbers in the funnel way. So first stage in the funnel, you would have lead form, right? So from lead form, you want to go to the call, so the person would pick up the call, right? So you want to make sure your connection set up correctly from the lead form to CRM, right? And there's not the case where like sometimes connection breaks and you don't have leads for a week or for a couple of days, or sometimes your connector like run out of credits, like make.com or whatnot, and then all your leads are just basically stuck and no one's calling them. So you want to make sure that connection is correct, and first stage would be connecting this form to the CRM and then making the salespeople actually call these leads. So now once the lead picked up, now you want to make sure they receive an estimate. So you want to make sure the second stage of this funnel is going to be like a salesperson building a report and giving the people an estimate and asking for the business. So that's going to be the third stage in the funnel. And if they ask for the business, they get declined. Now they need to work on objections, and after that they need to follow up with those leads, make sure they still buy, because a lot of times they'd be buying after they don't buy on the first time, they'd be buying on any of this second calls or follow-ups. Okay. All right. So also you want to have clear sales caller ID. Obviously, if you have the caller ID that says spam likely, as right now it is spam likely, it's going to be very difficult to reach people, because spam likely, no one wants to pick up those calls. So just keep something in mind. All right. So from here, testing is, let's say all the funnel is good, everything is good. Now you want to make sure the ad is good, right? So you want to make sure you test, and with your agency, you test all different types of offers and all different types of leads. Like, for example, the very successful offers would be like, in our thing, would be something like a 50 free boxes, like some type of lead magnet or so-called offer, where you give people something for free, or let's say, which is user-generated content, have someone just say, these people just moved me and this is how it went, everything was okay, cheap and good. Also, you want to test with the location. We did test a lot of things with the locations. It's not that great on the bigger budgets, but location videos actually do work, and they work on around $1, $1 per day budget. Actual location video, that's how you can pick up some couple leads from there. So basically you make a video on certain locations, say like here's the downtown insert your city, whatever, San Diego, right? And then you stand in front of the downtown something and say, hello, I'm doing moving, check out this offer. That actually works and can bring you a couple videos, a couple leads and a couple jobs actually per month for very low amount of spend. And we did that mistake actually in regards to these locations. We put the high spend and it did go nowhere because it's just not that many people moving in one little city or in one little area like a downtown. Even you'd think there would be a lot more people moving, but it's just, yeah, it's just not that great for Facebook, I guess. So it didn't work in our case. Maybe someone made it work. Let me know. I'd be interested to chat about that. Okay. So here we go in scripts. So you also wanna, once you get a script, you get your little text message, right, that the agency will write, and then you get a form or thank you page after that form. So that's basically gonna be a content of the thing. And content, yeah, we tested a lot of different stuff on the content side. As I said already, locations was one part of it. Now you get scripts. So we tested different wording in all the different scripts, and some of the scripts that actually by changing just one or two words, like let's say no hidden fees, our cost per lead would go like 30% up over the month's period of time, over like many thousands of dollars. And then by adding this word back, you be lowering the price of per lead back down. So that'd be a very interesting experiment. That was actually a very interesting experiment when we check different scripts and how people react on it. And usually it's more or less like a couple types of scripts that are the best for this type of deal. So you cannot use like every script and say whatever you want. Okay, and yeah, that's about it. With one more thing I want to add with a thank you page or whatnot. There is something that we tested, which is like a thank you phone number for the discount, and we ended up seeing that it's not working that great. We'll just put there thank you and visit our website, because the thank you page with a phone number, it actually, in our case, didn't work that well. So I'll be curious to hear who made it work. All right. So the last thing I want to say, it was run numbers monthly for review. So we started with actually running numbers monthly for review in a little spreadsheet, and it worked out pretty well because you wanna keep an eye on all the leads, and if any of the leads are missing, you wanna see this in your spreadsheet, and you wanna have the workers of the agency to see that as well, so they can catch in case some leads do not come in. And then also, let's say if agency like show that it's like lower results or anything, you won't give them an access again right away. You want to give them an access so they can go and check your call recordings. Maybe your salespeople say something wrong, maybe whatever they say is wrong. So that's basically it. All right, guys, good. That was the video on Facebook, how to make 200 grand in 1 year. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.